All right, well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back from that short break. And it was a bit of a longer extended, I'm really stressing the term or like trying to push the term short because it was a 40-minute break due to Penta forfeiting their match versus Fnatic. That was supposed to be our 20 o'clock CET match. Didn't happen, so we had a bit of a longer break there, which is why we're only coming back now at 21 CET with our next match of the night, which is going to be Flipside versus Dignitas. So another best of one coming at you guys. Thanks for being patient. Thanks for sticking it out. But now we're going to get into the CS. It's only going to be starting in a couple minutes because we have a GoTV IP. So that means that players are joining the server. But I'm not alone doing this right now. Anders is with me here. Anders, did you survive that short break, bro?
Yeah, I think that the key here, Sumler, is just finding the right point of reference, you know?
Mm-hmm.
It's like, the human race has existed for, about, 120,000 years maybe. Some say like 200,000.
Okay.
So, if you think about that, then really these 40 minutes, like next to nothing,
Blink of an eye.
Yeah.
They don't even,
super swift.
And
Just,
then if we go into what the existence of the universe, Big Bang.
Yeah,
Planet
exactly.
Earth. It's all
So
about
really, you guys
scale.
have next to nothing to complain about, is what I'm saying here.
Mm-hmm. There we go, guys. Keep it in perspective. Keep it in perspective. Let's keep things in perspective, right? I think that's important. But as far as this match is concerned, guys, it's going to be a best of one between Dignitas and Flipside. And as far as the league standings are concerned, both of these teams are pretty much at the bottom of the food chain, to put it lightly, because Dignitas they're sitting pretty far down with 21 points to their name, pretty far down compared to the 45 points that TSM have at the top of the pack. So Dignitas, this is a match that they're going to be playing out, I think, basically to get the experience to learn from whatever they've been working on in Prac. And, well, Flipside are sitting dead last in the group right now. 2 wins to their name, 6 points total. So it's it's one of those matches where we're really just going to be looking to see what these guys are going to throw at us here on Overpass.
Yeah, but I'm not too sad about that, really. I still think Dignitas is a pretty cool team. They've been having some pretty great results against all different kinds of teams recently. So I just want to see them grow, and I want to see them improve on pretty much all the maps. So, yeah, generally speaking, I still think it's going to be a quite a good match, even if we kind of know that for them to qualify is, I don't know what's going to happen there for that to work out. Probably not going to happen, just is it?
Maybe Dignitas if they win the next 5, but then even if they win, well, they have what, 6 matches left. They have 6 matches left, Dignitas. This is one of them. So if they win this one and then win the next 5, that'll put them up at 22 wins, which could tie them with TSM. So there is that. Perhaps.
All right, then.
Which could tie them with TSM for now. Because,
for now, yeah.
Because
until
TSM still
play
have
more matches.
Exactly. TSM still have 2 more matches in the group. We're aiming at 22 here as the golden figure. All the teams play each other twice in this round robin format. 12 teams. So there you go, right? But yeah, that's I think Dignitas, like right now, unless they can pull off some of the biggest upsets in their careers, it's going to be a bit of a stretch for them to make it to that land cutoff. So it's definitely going to be a bit more of a learning experience match that we're going to have here right now.
Yeah, and there has to be room for that. I mean, I don't know what kind of pressure the Dignitas team is under from the organization or anything. I hope they have good support. Certainly, if I were in charge of Dignitas, I would. I'd actually be quite pleased with the way the team is running right now. Like, they don't seem to be resting on their laurels. They seem to be, like, every time they have a good result, they always, like, they keep themselves cool and they continue to work pretty hard at it. I think this is a really cool team. I think they've got some good stuff going on for them. So even though it'd be great to qualify for a $500,000 league, or the playoffs anyway, it's still cool if they can just show something impressive here.
Yeah, I agree. They're pretty firmly rooted as like the 3rd team in Denmark right now. And you have SK now. That's the new dog in town, basically. Hunden leading his pack over there. But I think that team still has a bit to prove here before they can start challenging Dignitas for the second tier slot in Denmark. I mean, TSM right now pretty much untouchable. Hell, basically making leaps and bounds towards like a top 3 position in the world right now, not just Denmark. So as far as Dignitas are concerned, yeah, it's a bit. It's definitely like positive as far as like the progress that they've been making. But I feel like this is also just an extremely emotional team, if that's the right way to put it, where they can get they can give into emotion, they can get frustrated, they can show that actually we're humans after all. And right now, we're frustrated with our lack of progress sometimes, where it feels like perhaps they're taking a step back rather than taking that step forward that they really want to be taking.
Yeah, definitely. But I think I don't know if this is the case for everyone, but I think that the sort of emotional feel to this team, or to at least some of the players, comes as a result of the fact that they really badly want to win and compete at a high level and all that stuff. So
Yeah.
I think it's sort of a reaction to that. Whereas some people get emotional just because they can't stand other people criticizing them, or they don't think anything is ever their fault. So whenever someone does say, well, maybe this was your fault, they get emotional and things go sideways. I don't think that's what's going on Dignitas. But sure, I mean, maybe the breakthrough moment for them comes when they have just a couple of good land victories, something like that, something where they can start to feel like, okay, look, we've actually kind of made it. Now we just have to keep making it, and maybe they'll relax a bit more. But I understand what you mean, definitely. Yeah, but actually, I mean, just to go back to I think that's one of the things that makes them really fun to watch. Like, I know that any game that Pimp is playing in, it means a lot to him. I know that he's not just going to show up and say, oh, well, shrug of the shoulder and be like, oh, it's just any old day. I know he'll take it like 110% seriously. And that somehow that like translates into me watching it. Like, I enjoy that. But it can backfire. I agree. It definitely can backfire.
Yeah, no, that's right. And also something to consider is that it's quite a young team just as far as the age is concerned. You have a couple guys. I mean, well, AC's like 18, Kirby is like just turned 17, Pimp is barely cracking the 20s, and MSL as well. So I mean, it's a very young team, all things considered, as far as just how they're competing and how long they have ahead of them as far as their careers are concerned. So right now, you have to look at it this way. That's like, this is a team that is still still trying to figure out what they need to do to be able to compete against the best, basically, and they have a few years left where they're going to be able to get the experience necessary to compete. Like, they're already making tracks, they're already challenging the top tier, and they have so much ahead of them as far as just like evolving their own game that there's a lot of potential on this team is basically what I'm trying to say here. There's a lot of potential.
I also feel like they've managed to dodge, at least so far, they've managed to dodge something that would have been unfortunate for them, which is that they would have become some sort of farming team for TSM, right?
Yeah.
Like, that TSM becomes the best team, and whenever something isn't working in TSM, they look down at Dignitas and say, well, who's your best player right now? Let's try and pick him up. And then, then Dignitas are just like forever stuck in this weird position where they can't keep good players around. They seem to have avoided that, so that's cool as well. Mm-hmm. They're going to be playing Flipside, who are having a hard time actually showing up for the server here, which I think is because of the Steam Summer Sale, Semler.
Oh,
have you
really?
got your money like locked up somewhere so that Gaben doesn't find them?
Exactly. Like, I've never fallen victim to this summer sale, winter sale, all this sort of stuff that everybody keeps going on and on about.
I do have friends that do it. I have friends that just like they're students, they're poor, they live off of like ramen exclusively or something. They just can't eat anything at all, but then they use all their money on the Steam Summer Sale or Winter Sale or whatever. Mm-hmm. It's mad.
Well, guys, the reason why we're still on the cam is because there really isn't anything happening in the game, so everybody's just kind of like standing around. There really isn't. We're still waiting on Flipside to join up, and the reason why it's a little bit delayed with Flipside is because they just finished a match as well. I think it was a best-of-3, so they literally just won a best-of-3, 16-14. So they might be taking a couple minutes to get a breather. Markelov has joined the server, and whatever, we'll throw it over just so you guys can stop whining and chat. But you know what? There we go, and it's Markelov just kind of like chilling out over in CT spawn right now, but I think he's AFK as well. So we're waiting on Flipside to get in, basically.
Well, you know what? I'm actually quite excited to be watching Overpass, Semler, because I've been looking in Inferno a lot recently, and I was actually going to record the Inferno video yesterday, but I was so tired that I ended up I did the recording and I rewatched it, and it was like 4 in the morning, and I realized there was just like slurring, and I wasn't making any sense. So I thought, look, this is going to be a stupid video. I'm not going to release this, so I have to re-record Inferno at some point when I'm more awake. But I've also been looking at Overpass a fair bit recently, and there are some crazy things you can do on this map that I hadn't realized. But I spent like a couple of hours running around, and yeah, I'm actually now I sort of you know this, Sumner, but I'll tell everyone else as well. This happens to me all the time. Whenever I like gear up to try and look at a map and I spend a lot of time on it, whenever I discover anything, I go into like an instant paranoia mode where I'm afraid that someone else will also discover it and put it on the Reddit first. So now I've reached that stage with Overpass. I'm like, don't do these things. Like, just stay away from this area. There's nothing fun to see here. Just keep, go on. But yeah, I've got some fun stuff coming up on this map.
Well, that's good, dude, because Overpass, I mean, without the skyboxes, it does feel like there's a lot of potential. I mean, you talk to the pros, and a lot of them are just like, well, if you throw a nade from upper or lower or whatever, you see the nade trajectory, and so that kind of gives it away, which makes it difficult to get the fakes going or whatever, right? That in your mind's eye, when you're theorizing, you're thinking, oh, yeah, dude, this is going to be sick. Like, you could totally fake out B from A or A from B, or, they'll never know where you're coming from. But then you talk to a pro, and they're like, yeah, actually, it's kind of, like, really easy to see that. So then you're kind of left wondering, like, what is there, really? I guess since the big change to the bomb site, that actually prompted some evolution on the map, essentially as to how teams are actually holding on CT side. TSM started using boosts a lot on this bomb site, trying to change up that way. You had a lot of movement then, right? But apart from like a hard change to a map, how do you evolve, Anders? Which direction are you going in here, mate?
Well, I mean,
tough. You don't have to answer if you don't want to, bro.
No. I've got like some specific tricks that I'll keep hidden for a while, but I've got something that I've really been thinking about, and I guess we can open the discussion on that. I definitely think it's possible, although not all the pro players that I've talked to so far about this have agreed with me. Some have said it sounded like good fun, but a lot of people have said maybe not. So anyway, my theory is that it's actually possible to play the B bomb side on this map entirely on retake. Really? I think it's actually possible to play this. I mean, I have an idea that you can set up grenades so that as soon as you hear the bomb going down, you can essentially just like grenade whoever is planting and kill them, and then do a retake after that.
So where would you be retaking from? Like sewers, going up short, or from upper site? Yeah,
maybe even like sniper spot and the main entrance coming out of the A connector. Like really, actually quite far back in the site. Obviously, you're going to try and pick people off as they come in.
Yeah.
But there are a lot of issues. Like playing retake, I've been like, that's one of the things I've been looking at. And playing retakes is really hard because you have to know how many grenades and how much they have. If you say, all right, let's play retake, but then it turns out they have 5 smokes and they don't use any of them getting to the site, and they have 5 Molotovs as well, well then great luck, retaking. That is going to be smoking and Molotoving all day,
Yeah.
So it's an approach that requires a lot of different things, basically. But that's one of the things I've been trying to look at, because and I'll tell you why this sort of came into my mind. It's just the fact that on B, there aren't that many places to stand once the bomb is down,
Yeah, like you got like Pit. So I'm showing Pit right now on the stream. You got Pit. And you've got basically behind Monster.
Yeah, exactly. And then I guess there's like the place where like the giant grid is, whatever it's called. Like if the Monster is on the right hand side and the left hand side, you can stand there. But a lot of these places could be pretty easily grenaded out. So I mean, I don't know. It's still like a work in progress in my mind. I haven't actually tested it out at all. But I'm just thinking there aren't that many places you can really stand. So maybe if you were playing a retake, you'd kind of know where to throw your grenades or something like that. Yeah, work in progress.
That comes down to like statistics, right? And figuring out where players like to be, or given a situation. Yeah, like given a situation, statistically, like where does a player go after a bomb has been planted with these many people alive? Like that's the difficult thing, like predicting, so you can actually make your nades valuable.
And I mean, just to touch up on that as well. I mean, that comes down to then also what team you're playing, and that is kind of how pro players actually approach playing another team. You don't just do a strat because it's a good strat. You obviously say, is this a good strat for this team, right? Because some teams will be playing in a very specific way, and then you have to know how to call based on that. I mean, that's not even like necessarily anti-stratting so much. It's just knowing your opponent on a basic level. So yeah, there's a lot to be built in that, but I want to see if I can make it work anyway, or I want to try and see if I can make you guys make it work. That's easier, isn't it? Yeah.
Whoa.
You know what?
Oh, never mind.
You know the most relaxing thing is on this map?
What's that?
You know, by B, there's the cement mixer that's sort of outside of the map. It's just like right above the barrels.
Right above the barrels, right? Yeah. Okay.
If you fly into that with a camera and sort of turn around, you have like, I don't know, it's like very comforting, right? It's just like a one hole into the map. You should obviously be able to stay up here with an AWP and just, you know, you can look down into the pipe down there.
You could look in the monster, yeah. Maybe.
Yeah. That's where I go to think when I'm on this map. I just fly the camera in here and I'm like, okay, how can we do?
What's next? Allow me. You're like those guys who are like memory champions or whatever who put on like the dark glasses and the headset, the noise canceling headsets that they get zero interference from the outside world. They can simply focus on what it is they need to be thinking about. There you go,
exactly.
Right, you're just gonna go with your little cement mixer, curl up.
It's real nice. I like it. So it's a good looking model as well out here. It's nice detail on the cement mixer.
You got a little tag as well, you know, headshot. There you go. I do love the tags on Overpass.
Yeah, exactly. Does it say anything apart from headshot? Does it say like? I can't. It has like other. It clearly says headshot, but it has like other letters too that I can't make out.
Straight up. You're right. Headshot. Is it just the other way around, inverted? No, that wouldn't make sense.
Yes, and I can't quite figure it out.
Yeah, it looks like a headshot to me. Yeah. It's headshot again behind.
Okay.
Headshot. Yeah. They haven't quite overlapped it. There's a little bit of change there. So they have two different kinds of styles, like one over the other, basically.
All right.
Wow. Okay, so we might actually have Flipside starting with 4 players on this map.
Okay, that's going to make it even more tricky. I mean, first of all, they're not playing with simple, as is always going to be the weird issue for them in this league. So they're playing with Haji, who I'm not sure who is, but Haji right there. Haven't actually ever seen him stand in for Flipside before, so this is going to be like a new experience.
Yeah, likewise. I mean, basically, you saw the news. Like, we should point that out. That Bondic right now, he's basically taking a step back he's on medical disability. Like,
yeah, but wasn't he cleared for DreamHack Summer?
I don't know if maybe they're trying to keep him low, but I think they were worried about his fever, like him getting fevers, so he might be like too hot essentially. Like they need to maintain his health.
Poor Bondic. That's just a I don't know. That's a really really hard
heartbreaking
hard thing to deal with. Yeah, some sort of throat condition which makes it really hard to breathe and swallow. Apparently, man, it's
it's not pleasant.
No, shout out to Bondic for keeping it cool, but that is definitely that's hard to deal with, man. Someone's saying that it says ill headshot. Like, alright, like it could be.
Okay, so what's going to happen essentially is we might start with 4, and then Davcost will join as soon as possible. So Davcost will be the 5th man for Flipside, which makes sense. I'm wondering where Cyberfocus is, seeing as how he stood in with Davcost the other night for Flipside, but seems like we're waiting on Davcost, basically. He has some internet issues or something like that holding him up. But,
right.
Man, that's a bit of like, Flipside just cannot catch a break. Like, Simple can't play in the league, so then they have to bring in Cyberfocus to fill his shoes, but then now Bondic has a health problem, so they have to bring in somebody else. Man, it's just like they cannot catch a break right now.
Makes you wonder. I mean, we've got like 3 CIS teams that are sort of, you know, worth talking about at the moment. Obviously, Flipside won, but then I guess Navi is the number 1. Second in place, Hellraisers, who, as we were talking about earlier, they have been playing quite well recently.
Beasting.
Yeah, they're a really good team right now. But then there's so much talent, obviously, in the CIS region that can be picked up. They're just like spread all across weird teams. A lot of them are actually in Flipside, but you got to wonder if these issues keep up for them, if they won't just like try and essentially reform the team at some point.
Yeah, exactly. Where they might. I'm wondering if it comes to the point where they add Cyberfocus and Davcost like permanently to the lineup, and just go with that essentially.
I keep saying this is the way to go about it. Just get Simple a new ID. Change his name. They'll never know.
Right? I mean, they'll never know if he's like logged in from somewhere else, right? I don't know. Maybe
Yeah, but you know, just like
people are actually accusing CyberFocus of that. That's like it wasn't CyberFocus playing; it was actually Simple.
Oh,
And you're just like, okay.
Well, I say just change your change your ISP, get a new IP address, get a new identity, and then suddenly you're called something else. I bet they'll never find out.
Yeah.
It's what I do. I'm just, not, once you've tried to like dodge, the cheating ban or whatever it was, just go all in at that point.
Well.
Let's
see.
They're still waiting. They should. I mean, I guess if they're going to play 4v5, then they should be ready soon enough.
They might be trying to wait it out for Bondic. It might be what's in the cards here. I don't know. I haven't seen any updates in the admin chat, so we're still waiting. We're still waiting for this game to start. But guys, don't worry. Don't give in. We'll have a very good match to close things out tonight. Actually, there's two good matches coming up next, basically. Team Envious versus Na'Vi. That's supposed to start at 10, and then at 23 we have Na'Vi versus Hellraisers. So there's actually going to be some great action. Two back-to-back solid maps there.
Especially because if Envy lose to Na'Vi, then they're out, right?
Yeah, and it can't really give you hope too much for Na'Vi as well if they're getting like 16-3'd or something by VP in the meantime. So, yeah, I might have to go over there and ask and be like, yo, what's going on, guys? What's happening?
Oh, yeah. Did you tell everyone that Na'Vi are actually right nearby?
Yeah, they're not too far away, so... But, man, I'm like, it's also really exciting to see Hellraisers do this big comeback after Fragbite where they got some good experience. They were able to play some solid best of threes. I mean, they did some play really fairly solid. Yeah. And then they make, like, what blows my mind is they make TSM sweat on Mirage. Like, overtime, TSM barely squeak out the win on overtime. But on a map that Hellraisers themselves weren't feeling that very confident on. So that was actually really wild because Hellraisers, they're just like, yeah, Mirage is not a map for us. Like, we don't feel good on it right now, yada, yada, yada. And then all of a sudden it's like, oh, you still take TSM to overtime on one of their strongest maps. What's that about?
Yeah, no, I think Hellraisers did really well. They were just kind of forgotten because, they didn't make it off to the finals or anything, but they did a pretty good job. I think it was encouraging, but they weren't pleased with themselves. I could tell when they were walking away from that game. They weren't like, okay, we almost did it. They were more like, we should have done it. Like, we could have done it, but we didn't. So I guess a bit disappointed. Are we finally ready?
I think we are.
Man, I never thought this day would come, but we are here now. It's Dignitas versus Flipsid, best of one game for the ESL ESEA Pro League. And kind of a weird start as Flipsid were having some issues connecting everyone to the server. So they're going to start a man down. They're also playing with Haji instead of whoever else was supposed to play.
They're pretty harsh about it too, Dignitas. It's not like Fnatic, where Fnatic like kill like half their people to bring it back or like make it a little bit more even in the knife round. Dignitas are like, nah, we're just gonna crush you. Yeah. You're down a man. That's a shame. That's too bad. That really sucks. Oh, but now the pause, the infamous pause comes in. So maybe we are waiting for maybe the Dav cost isn't too far away here.
They're the enemy summoner. Can't just give them a break like that.
Exactly right. Once you load into that server, you could be best buddies outside of the server. But like Pasha and Olafmeister, I mean, those guys are getting married soon. But if once you get into that server, though, that's it. It's over. Friendship gone. No longer.
Yeah, that's how it should be as well. It's definitely how it should be. Kind of too much friendship while also competing. That gets weird. You gotta. I mean, but then again, like pro boxing and stuff. Those guys will pound on each other, but then bell rings and they're at hugging each other. That's what I want.
Yeah,
like that's a solid mix right there. You want to knock this guy out, but as soon as the bell rings, you're like, oh, it was a great fight. Good job.
Yeah, didn't you guys know that Olaf and Pasha are getting married? You should wish them happy, congratulations, guys. You didn't know? And they're two very progressive guys. Like, they're all about it. I think Olaf, Stockholm. That's where he wants it. There was like some chapel or something a bit farther north uptown.
Really?
Yeah, and it had the Valve logo done in stained glass. That's why he really liked it. So he was just like, actually, I think this is where it is. And Pasha was like, oh, okay.
I can see someone building a Valve church at some point in the future. I can definitely see that.
I could see it happening too.
But I mean, I imagine Pasha might have a hard time getting married since he's already married once, isn't he?
Yeah, right.
That is an issue. They should fix that at one point. Should be like only one wife per country. Just a little asterisk at the end there. Just one per country.
Well, maybe we can like sort that out so that our honeymoons, they because we're having our honeymoon in Ireland, right, Anders? So
yeah.
Maybe we can figure something out where we double date it or something. Because that's what it's all about.
There is definitely a chance that will happen. What I was going to ask what the holdup is, but obviously we kind of know what the holdup is. But then it seems like Dignitas have actually agreed to pause for a bit longer.
It seems like it. We let's see. Apparently, they've been told to unpause and start, but we're still waiting to see. And we're still waiting to see what's going to happen here, guys. So there's no nothing.
Whoa,
there we go. Oh, we got Cyber Focus in. There we go. Okay, so that works. It's not Davkos, but Cyber Focus would be solid.
Yeah. Cyber Focus is definitely very good. I mean, Davkos actually did play pretty well last time he was here, but I guess we'll see how well Hutchie is going to be playing since we haven't seen it before. I mean, at this point, just to get back on track, I definitely expect Dignitas to take this, and it might not be super easy because they're playing, this like mix type-ish game. Flipside now probably will be playing like they'll try their best, but they'll probably be playing like a bit strangely, and that can actually throw Dignitas off, especially in the best of one game. But I still think Dignitas should win this.
I agree. They should be solid, at least if not on the CT side, T side. But Nico, yeah, that was all right.
A dirty click. He's not even reloading. He knows what he just did.
I got this. Blade's going to get full flashed as well, but he manages to get back around that corner safely, so Nico can't hunt down that kill. They're kind of gathering up on Long as well right now. Edit World, he is just waiting. Pimp, there we go, gone. But Pimp takes one of his teammates as well. Nico lands, oh no, it's AC instead to land another headshot here, and that leaves us down to 2 players left. Cyber Focus and Blade. Last 2 alive, and they're going to try and rush onto this site. Blade gets caught, and he is still here. 5 HP, brings it back to a 1-on-3, but as soon as he shows himself around that smoke, he gets picked off. AC having a terrific round start after Nico, basically. Starting us off strong with that 1 click. AC picks up 3 kills.
Yeah,
oh,
definitely.
Yeah, game sound. Sorry about that, guys. We'll bump that game sound back up.
Oh, yeah, that could be important. Well, I mean, yeah, nothing really to talk about there. When you get that kind of start on the terrorist side, and it wasn't even like to put a bomb side, that was just like a peek into the middle coming out from the connector, right? And he already takes out 1. So it's not like you've gained anything from that loss. You're just a man down, and you still have no idea what's going on. So yeah, 6 start from Dignitas here. MSL moving up quite aggressively here with the MP9, and even with the armor, Hutchie's going to go down, and MSL running back here with his back turned to the terrorist, but somehow he's still going to be alive. That was a bit scary, and he will go down eventually, just as I say that.
Yeah, but we still have Kierby alive. Bit of the spray there. He's alive in pit, basically, and the AC's already backed him up as well. It's going to be between the 2 of these, basically, to just completely wipe out the rest of that push. Flipside, not wasting any time. No real deep tactics there. It's just kind of like run onto that B site, cross your fingers, and hope that you get the job done. So what's interesting is that World Edit and Blade both didn't invest. Like, World Edit, I could see. He wants to go for the AWP early. He wants to have that in the 4th round buy. But Blade not buying? Kind of a surprise there.
Yeah, me too, actually. But I guess they do want the full equipment here. We've seen a lot of teams do really well on this map on the terrorist side if they do have what it takes, especially for the A-bomb side. If you have enough smokes and enough molotovs to prevent people from defusing once the bomb goes down, you can make some cool stuff happen. And Markolov already going to be picking up AC here, and Pudgy does go fairly low, but still looking to alright for the flip side.
Nicely done there by Nico, keeping Markov off that M4. They really want to fight on this, but Pimp is there. Nico steps out, gets another kill onto Cyber Focus this time, and then winds up taking out World Edit as well. That's going to leave Hudgy, the last man alive here, to get nailed by Kjærby with the double kill on Long. Kjærby holding off that flank by Flipside, so solid recovery there for Team Dignitas. It definitely looked a little dicey, especially with AC getting picked up, leaving an M4 exposed, but Dignitas put up a strong defense around that dropped rifle and made sure that Flipside couldn't really get anything out of the round.
Well, going into the 4th round here, it's going to be World Edit with the AWP like you were talking about, and they also have 2 Molotovs here, one on Markolov and one on Blade, and they're spreading out quite far. Dignitas, though, going to be somewhat aggressive, especially Nico. Look at this, all the way up by the birthday party. You could say he's here to party, but not in the way that Cyberfocus is hoping, and he's going to go down.
Yeah, and you have Markolov trying to work his way through Connector right now. MSL took out Hudgy at the same time, but Markolov going to spot out AC and lose that duel. We also lose Markolov, well, pardon me, Blade at the same time over on the B site. And that kind of leaves World Edit all by his lonesome. He did save, as we saw in the 2nd round bye, so he does have that AWP, but he's in a 1v5 situation here, stuck at top mid. Bomb is dropped back in T-side Connector, but Nico is going to get the job done, pick him off with ease. So 4 rounds now on the board here for Team Dignitas. Definitely looking very good for them so far at the beginning of this map.
Yeah, I mean, maybe a little bit like we were expecting, but I'm still hoping that Flipside will be able to put up more of a struggle later on. Bit of a shame they lost that 4th round. Always a bit disappointing when you've invested that much into it. Hutchie and Cyberfocus still have no kills, as far as I can tell. So, you know, they just need everyone on the board. Right now, even Kjærby, who's 3rd in line with the kills on Dignitas, has as much as the whole of Flipside.
They're going to end up wrapping back around onto the A site. Pimp is going to take out 1 player there. AC also holding mid. And they're just going to try and wrap back around. World Edit has got an AK to work with now, but AC holding aggressive. He's got Nico there to back him as well, watching his flank, so they really shouldn't be able to get picked up, especially with this overlap. Kjærby watching Long, and he swaps guns just as Blade comes through the smoke. Worst possible timing for Blade to pull that kind of stunt, and it works out marvelously well for him, at least. Doing good damage to AC.
Oh, important kill there, AC, speaking of which, and it's going to keep going here. 1 click on World Edit would be enough, and he's going to be left alone here. 10 health in a 1v2. Very tricky position. Grenade goes in. He doesn't have the bomb, and they know exactly where he is as well. AC doing a bit of a jumping there. Going to go down eventually. And now it's just MSL. 1v1 here, but he's got a sizable health lead.
Yeah, and with 30 seconds left, it doesn't really leave much time for World Edit to maneuver with. He's kind of just holding this angle, hoping that MSL is going to make the mistake of pushing forward aggressively. But MSL knows right there in the corner of his eye, he's got that pack. He's got that bomb dropped. So he knows that World Edit is eventually going to have to round that corner, come to him, and he's changed up with a bit of a tricky angle. World Edit will take the first shot and manage to land it, but MSL, he just had, World Edit had so little HP to work with there that it was pretty much inevitable. So a solid recovery there by Team Dignitas in the end. 1v1 scenario, so it's going to be an expensive one, but as we can see, after a full buy, they still have 6,000 across the board for Dignitas in the bank. Whereas Flipside in this round, they're spending everything they've got.
Well, they tried to go for the bomb site last time around, or at least they wanted control towards the restrooms area, and they never really even got that. This time, Markolov is in Underpass or in Connector, just quickly putting out a Molotov. And this time they're going to go towards the V-bomb. It looks like MSL is going to be the first target of choice here. Already Flash going to put a bit of a grenade, not going to touch too many people, and Cyberfocus with a nice opening, taking down MSL.
There's nothing doing here. They're getting completely wiped out. AC, Kjærby, MSL all gone on that B site, and now that leaves it down to Pimp, who's trying to rotate in for a flank, and Nico, who's already up in Sniper right now. There's the shoulder peek, and there's the shot. Nicely done there by Nico. Double scoped in, getting the job done. But Pimp has been smoked off through Monster, so he doesn't really have a way in. Hoping that perhaps somebody would peek him from sewer right now, but this isn't leaving a whole lot of time for Team Dignitas to play with here. So they've definitely set up at this point to just be able to back off with their guns when the time comes. AC might be a little bit tricky for him, but yeah, catches World Edit, takes the fight, takes out Markolov as well. There you go. That's all he had to do. Get those 2 kills. And now Flipside, once again, they're going to be spending a lot more money than they would like in this next round.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Very, very annoying, obviously, to Flipside. Finally winning a round, but then building almost no bank off of it, and that's gonna It's going to come back to haunt them later if they start losing once again, which they might, because Dignitas, on the other hand, can actually still buy, and that is... Yeah, it's going to be uncomfortable here, but they do have enough for the AKs, obviously, and plenty of grenades on Flipside. And Dignitas are still fully bought up, so... Oh, I was wondering if they're going to go back to B since they had so much success with it, but they're kind of spreading out all over the place now.
Well, they are. Hutchie just making sure that they can't push through on long. We already have, however, Cyberfocus starting to peek forward. Nico has been boosted up. He's just waiting for that angle, but Cyberfocus playing this so very carefully. And we have a second man here, that's Pimp. But Pimp is waiting for the signal from Nico. He's waiting to hear a noise or basically get called out. And yeah, he decides, okay, I've waited long enough. Time to push forward, and he's going to get that kill on Cyberfocus. Very nicely done. And now we have the setup over here in sewers, essentially coming out through connector. It's looking like Flipside will eventually wind up on this B side again.
Being a man down is never a good thing, but with the right grenades, actually, they're going to take down MSL. That was Hutchie spraying through the smoke. Nicely done. Now it's down to whether or not Kirby can go huge. He's going to pick up the first kill there. They're trying to run for the smoke, and somehow they find the timing. AC going to go down as well, and Nico with a very important kill there. Goes for a next flick and almost drops Markelov. That's so fast. Grenade follow-up. Markelov is going to be gone, and now it's all on Blade. What a great round from Nico so far.
Holy hell, that flick. He actually got it on Markelov. And it's only because there was a little bit of wood there in the way that Markelov is still alive. That would have been an insane kill. One off, but still. HE combo does the trick, and Blade still holding a pit. Think he just got spotted, though. But Pimp, no, they're still trying to hunt him down, and he's going to be able to take out Nico. It's going to come down to Pimp now in a clutch situation. 1v1. Needs to pull it off. He gets the edge. And he should have the time for the defuse just barely here. You know, cutting it real close. But Dignitas, they bring it back, and they're going to be able to save Nico's AWP as well. Or they should be able to. Where the hell is it? Nope. No save. They couldn't actually find it. Nico. Well, Nico had 12 grand, so it's not the end of the world, but still.
Yeah, just a little bit annoying, right? But that was kind of funny. I guess it got blown up somewhere. I'm not actually sure. Something happened with that AWP anyway. It went home to its people, Semler.
It went home, yeah. It was time. And do we have an aggressive push on short lining up? I think we do. MSL going to get caught, and, well, Kirby decides to play it safe. Attempt to punish, and Blade is going to go charging right into the waiting arms of AC, who's already changed it up. Brings it back to a 4-on-4. In the meantime, there's Kirby, takes the peek, goes for the wallbang, not going to get it, and Nico still set up over here in mid. Waiting to see if Hujji's going to be pushing out through connector soon. Flipside slowing down the tactics, however. They aren't really wanting to push too quickly, but Nico's still waiting, so patient, and he's going to get rewarded. Takes out Cyberfocus and gives his team the man advantage.
Yeah, and, I mean, up until that point, they had a lot of options, Flipside, because they had the time for it. They were at even odds. They had, you can see here, still 2 Molotovs, and actually nice flick from Nico. He somehow sees that coming. And World that has dropped the bomb as well. Nico is playing really well today.
Yeah, this is the man of the match, essentially, for now. And he gets another kill through the smoke. Just barely spots out Hudgy. And that's going to do it. Leaves Markelov alone, trying to make his way over on long. No geared, nothing to be able to pick up there, Markelov. You're going to have to do it the hard way. But Nico, he starts walking just out of range there for Nico. So Nico might actually get shot in the back. Because it seems like him and Pimp are both focused on the same angle. And Markelov point blank takes out Nico. Nicely done. Has no idea that Pimp is there on the second man on the site, though. And Pimp is going to be able to deny that bomb plant and pick up the 7th round here for Team Dignitas.
Oh, man. I mean, what you have to realize at this point is that if Nico could play like this in every single match, Dignitas could start taking down, like, top-level teams.
Yeah.
They probably wouldn't do it consistently, but they could have matches versus, like, you know, some of the best teams in the world and actually beat them. Because that kind of opening is just so scary. And the thing is, he has been on a level where he's been consistently playing like that. Like, it's happened in his global offensive career before, so we just need to return to that again.
Someday. And, whoa, Pimp turns away. World Edit misses a bit of a window there to be able to punish Pimp. He's looking for bigger fish. He's looking for Nico right now. And does Nico realize that he's getting flanked out? No, he does not. Surprise, surprise. World Edit's there to take that AWP, and World Edit could actually put this AWP to good use. AC was trying to rotate in, but he's a little bit too late. Problem is that bomb has gotten dropped over on the B site, so that pretty much ends it here for World Edit, who's going to get flanked out by Pimp. Catches him basically trying to hold an angle over on that A site. 8-1, and Dignitas are making very short work of Flipside for now.
So where do you go with your Flipside? You've had 1 successful round to B out of the 9 that you've played. I would say similar, and I am no mathematician, but I would say go back to B. Come on.
Some success better than none.
Yeah,
at this point, you kind of want to see it. I mean, Markov is going to head down into connector again. Straight up, looking for the fight here, but nobody is waiting. And they've got the early B stack as well, Dignitas, with 3 players holding solid. AC going for the jump, potentially trying to spot somebody out in sewers. But again, they're actually over on long, and it's going to be Blade to try and take this fight versus Nico. Nico spots the hip, but then Pimp peeks out, and like clockwork, it's just that 1-2 combination. That's exactly how that teamwork there is supposed to work. Nico draws the attention, and then Pimp catches somebody by surprise. Him getting Markle off is like icing on the cake, though.
World Edit trying to see if he could bring it back, but not going to happen. It means Hutji's alone in 1v5. Chance for him to show what he's worth here. Going to walk in, and we'll take down Pimp. Next in line, Nico. Oh, he didn't realize. He thought he was going to be clever and put up a flashbang there, but that'll be the round 9-1. I mean, this is turning into something a bit absurd here. Remember, like, we can expect a good terrorist team on this map to pick up like 6-7 rounds, sometimes even more than that.
Yeah. But, yeah, it doesn't seem like... Man, that's one thing, you know, it's just... You see the 3 flip side symbols, and then you see 2 stand-ins. And that's just the brutal part when it comes down to a T side. If you're going to go for straight-up matchmaking strats, right? Versus a team of Team Dignitas' experience, that's going to be very difficult indeed to actually make work. But the nades are going to go sailing out. MSL does get flashed, but we have the rotation coming in already. Kelby not going to be able to spot them out, but you do have the man on short. That's AC. And they actually get a safe plant here. Very nicely done, but then they line up. What was that blender moment?
I don't know. They just all got shut down. At least they got the bomb plant. I suppose that's a kind of a bonus, but I don't know. Dignitas, they were patiently waiting for all the Flipside to get here. And once they got here, they just decided, look, we're going to make them pay for letting us wait. And this is the result, man. They're brutalizing them right now.
Steamrolling them, and Pimp is catching up to Nico at this point. Nico still, he kind of plateaued at 14, and Pimp is up at 14 now as well. AC at 11. They're doing very good work at this point. Pimp always a solid player for Dignitas. Nico is definitely your Hail Mary, though, or more of a gamble. I'm curious to see if AC is going to try and peek into Markloff, who's holding that angle. Once again, down in connector. Nico with another aggressive hopping angle. There you go. Drops Blade, who's carrying the bomb, and he's managing to fade away as well. No return there by World Edit because that flash goes off in the nick of time to keep Nico alive, and now he's got the advantage because he's already aimed up on that angle. Markloff drops to AC, and they're trying to push onto the B side at this point. Hutji going to get caught out by Kjerby, who rotates around. And, well, it leaves Cyberfocus in a bit of an awkward spot.
And with the bomb dropped as well, Pimp taking down World Edit, it makes it even more difficult for Cyberfocus to really do anything here. Good kill on AC, and he's just going to go aggressive with the AWP. Will pick up a great headshot on Kjerby there. Very nice game sense, but he's going to run down into sewer, doesn't check the angle. And Pimp is there waiting for a double kill, and that is going to be 11 rounds on Dignitas. I mean, I don't know what to say. This is more than I had expected.
By a fair stretch. Like, Flipside and Dignitas, I put Dignitas ahead, but not by this large a margin. Not that much, but again, that's the main issue. It's just that Simple is not here, and Flipside, they level up when they have him on the roster, on the active roster, playing the games. Without him there, they really do lose quite a bit of fragging power. Despite the fact that, you know, Cyberfocus, Davcost, like these guys, they can bring some damage, they can bring some pain, but not on the level that Simple can. And so means that right now, actually, MSL with that Scar 20 is going to start off strong. And they're wrapping around to the A side as well with the bomb. Pimp does manage to dodge a bit of a close call here over in Restroom. And now the rotation comes out. AC rotating back around to make sure Long does not get pushed too quickly. World Edit crouching in the corner. Does not spot him making his way in there. So AC might have a bit of an element of a surprise to work with here coming around this angle here for World Edit. Does he actually check? Nope. And just like that, Pimp,
but
though.
yeah, that should have barely been a kill for Pimp onto Blade. So a bit of an opening, maybe. Still a man down, but they might be able to build something off of this. I mean, they've got 40 seconds, and the problem is here they're really far apart from each other. Like Cypher Focus, for him to run back and connect with Blade is going to take him a good 10 seconds, and they only have about 35.
And fresh smoke's going down as well, so that's not going to inspire hope here in Blade's heart. He sees that smoke, he's thinking, oh, well, okay. Now I have to try and sneak my way through this. Blind, and he is doing just that. Timing, though, not going to work out. AC locks on immediately, and now it's down to Cyber Focus. 1v3, gets picked off by Nico, who's holding from CT, and that's going to end it, essentially. 12-1, the score, and Team Dignitas keeping all the expensive rifles alive as well, but they don't really mind at this point. They've got two guys who are floating well above 10K. So this team does not have to worry about ecoing anytime soon.
No, definitely not. That bank on Nico, I mean, 13,300, that's a bit scary. And we're in the 14th round, so yeah, you're right. They'll be buying for the rest here. And that auto sniper and MSL means if they try and go B now, they're pretty going to get mowed down, flashes or not. You kind of see the result here. Quick kill, a lot of damage being put out. He's just going to aim back towards the opening and does get 2 kills. Finally shot down. But I'm not sure it's going to be quite enough here. World Edit alone with a deagle in hand. Nice headshot there on Kievu. Still doing some really great damage.
Whew. AC with a bit of an off angle, though, to pick him up. And are they going to save that? Scar 20 doesn't look like it. AC had the opportunity, but he decides to let it lie. MSL probably wanting to go back to that M4. And, well, what's the answer for Flipside? Double AWP. There we go. I'll accept this. I'll allow it. If not, I mean, basically, they really just need to get picks right now. They need to find a way to weaken the defense because Team Dignitas just seem to be a step ahead at every turn. And Nico still sitting pretty at the top of the scoreboard right now. There's the flash, though, and now World Edit holding that angle, but Kierby instead, this time they go for the aggression. And this time it actually works. Not expecting the AWP over here on B Halls, though, so it's going to make it a little bit tricky for him.
Well, it's kind of now or never, isn't it? Maybe they could get to 13-2, save a bit of dignity, and then get back into it in the second half, waiting the pistol round, try and build something. Markelov with a refrag onto Pimp, and it's going to be back into a 3v3. The bomb really far back, but it is being picked up by Cyberfocus as we speak. But look who's flanking here.
Yeah, buddy.
Kiebu's on a mission.
Oh, man, how brutal would that be if you actually dropped the bomb carrier? Fresh smokes have gone down on that A site, though. Molotov to follow as well. They know that the push is going to be coming in here. But Kierby just spots Markelov running. The timing just off by a hair. And now they need to hold here. He needs his teammates to buy him time to make this flank effective, essentially. Cyberfocus getting picked up, though. That drops the bomb. And then the flank comes in. Kierby runs out of bullets. He gets the kill in the end. That brings it to a 14-1. But for a moment there, I thought he was actually going to completely fluff that.
Yeah. I mean, that was a bit funny, but let's just be honest. Even if they had finished 13-2, would it have made a real difference, Emma, you think?
No.
Come second half, I feel like it's still too far gone. Like, even when this was a CT-sided map, 14-1 would still not have been acceptable.
Yeah, you needed to at least get like 4 rounds. It needed to at least be like 11-4 T-side to really have a solid shot at it. Yeah, 14-1 is a bit of a stretch, and now we get to see what they have in store for us here. Team Dignitas, Nico going Tech 9, no Kevlar, so he's not going to raid boss someone here. And MSL, 2 flashes rather, and a Molotov. Okay, so is this just going to be the straight up YOLO B? It's looking like it.
Yeah, MSL going to put up a Molotov. Flashbangs over, and here they come. Kirby with a big opening, taking out World Edit, and Nico running in with that Tech 9, dropping Markelov. Blade going to fall, and all these Cyberfocus and Hudgy left, and what a dominant pistol round. Very easy as well to execute.
Yeah, just straight running gun, and Kirby starting off strong with that initial kill as well. Down to 10 HP, Hudzy, and now Cyberfocus trying to lurk his way in here. Going to get shot in the face. AC just shutting him down. No hope, no joy here for Flipside. Nothing but pain and sorrow as Team Dignitas go into potentially match point. Well, it is match point here for them. 15-1. They're going to get to buy it. They go for double P90 and a MAC 10. Well, okay then.
I guess that's one way to finish a game. Just stack up on the P90s, right? They're pretty good against armor, so it's not even much of a joke buy. They really are quite effective.
Yeah, and the Mac 10, I mean, we've got most of them, basically 4 guys, no helmets here, so we'll see. World edit down to 3 HP. Just trying to spray with that Deagle, but it's not going to happen. And that's the power, essentially, of the P90. Just run and gun straight up, hold down mouse 1, and never stop. Blade attempts to YOLO through, and he does actually make it onto that site, but he only takes 1 man with him, and it's a 1-on-3 situation here for Cyber Focus, coming up on short, trying to find a way into the bomb site. Eats a little bit of nade damage as well. Like, they really aren't going to make it easy for him. There's the flash, there's the run, and Nico just whips around after that fake plant, takes his face off, and that is going to be a very swift victory for Dignitas.
Wow, I mean, nice in terms of the round score. It's just a shame that they're already so low on the overall standings. But still, you know, I don't know, like, Flipside just not really prepared to play today, it seems, and Dignitas definitely prepared.
Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty much it. So, 16-1 final score, guys. We're going to have a 10-minute break before our next match, and that is going to be Team Envious versus Na'Vi, and this is going to be a very important game, so you do not want to miss it. Be back here in 10 minutes' time when we start it off.